Hey, let me know if this is something that is happening with you. That is, you hear a notification bell on your phone and you check the message. It's your friend and he sent you a really funny meme. So you engage with that meme, you like it, you comment it, and then instead of keeping the phone down and getting back to your study or work, you keep scrolling. अब scroll करते जा रहे हो. 15 to 20 minutes pass by, but you keep on watching other memes or reels and it goes on and on. Suddenly you realize that a lot of time has passed by. It's more than an hour. So you quickly turn off your phone and get back to your work. 5 minutes later, out of nowhere, you remember that you have to send an important PDF to your friend on WhatsApp. That is important, right? Because it is related to your study or your project. So you do that. And you are going to leave WhatsApp when you saw your school group bustling out with texts. So you open that group and there goes another 20 minutes. And this cycle keeps continuing. Every time you try to sit down to study, you remember something important related to your phone. So you switch on your smartphone, which actually leads to spending your time there again and again. So have you been in this cycle where you have experienced this kind of a thing happening to you? It has happened to me personally many times. When I'm on work, something used to attract me on the phone, and I used to go there and keep searching and then maybe surfing or watching some content, and then it would take up a lot of my time. And as you have mentioned several times, that it's not about the how much time we are giving, even if you are giving 10 hours a day, but what is the productivity that we are building up in that time. And the focus is our most valuable asset, not the time. So what is the focus on the work at that point of time? So this, and plus this kind of addiction that we are having to the phone is also detrimental not only to our mental health, but also to our productivity in the career also. It is actually distracting us from focus, which is our most valuable asset. And in this video, we're exactly going to discuss about device de-addiction and also about how we can actually ace it. So hi, I'm Akshay Jalan and have a decade of experience of working at IIT with various students and who have shared that they have been victims of device de-addiction and various challenges that were deterring in the career. It could be time management, it could be lack of focus, lack of concentration, and I run a community called Career Vision Hub particularly to solve these different problems of essential skills that the students require in their career journey. So helping them to develop a mindset and the skill set is very, very important, I feel, especially in the 21st century, the future of work is changing. Plus, the first step that I help them with is to identify the right career option for themselves. And for this end, you can go to my website and visit, and where you can also understand, you can go to my website careervisionhub.com. You can visit and know about the different programs and the webinars that we do on a regular basis. And with this, you can also connect with us, watch us, join us in our next live webinar, as well as you can even go to our courses like silver membership, gold membership that we have, which can help you to take your career journey to the next level. So now let's begin and try to understand about the concept of device de-addiction. So first, let's look at what are the impacts of a smartphone. Do you know what this leads to? What are these different impacts? So first is lack of focus. Since your mind keeps bouncing off from one thing to another, it creates a lack of focus in your mind. And this lack of focus affects your academics too. You aren't able to sit or study even for an hour without checking your mobile phones. You just feel an irresistible urge to check your phone just once, right? And this is just one of the impacts of smartphone addiction. And this actually creates confusion, anxiety, and restlessness. Basically, because of this, a kind of guilt also comes because, we're not able to focus. We're giving a lot of time. We're sitting on a study table and wanting to give a lot of time, but the phone keeps distracting us. Or, something on the laptop or the phone distract us from our main thing. So this cycle of a lack of focus is continuing, which is leading to restlessness, anxiety, and restlessness turns into anxiety. Anxiety further creates lack of focus. So, this cycle keeps on continuing. But you must be wondering how this happens. So it is because of a chemical secreted by a body called dopamine. So dopamine actually gives us a sense of pleasure. So when we are watching these reels or these videos or these memes, it gives us a kick of dopamine. And the higher the secretion, the more happiness one feels. So it is this dopamine that is responsible for the addictions. So every time we engage in an activity that we enjoy, we experience a dopamine rush. Therefore, every time we hear a notification or post a picture that gets likes, it leads to a secretion of dopamine. But the catch here is the amount of dopamine rush lessens every time you do the same activity, like engaging or checking the phone in this case. So basically, next time the dopamine rush you experience is less stronger than the previous one. Now, if you have paid close attention, you will observe that the more you check your mobile phone, the more restless you get. It is because you do not derive the same amount of pleasure or satisfaction as you might have experienced earlier. And your mind consciously keeps craving for this, which results in endless calling to your phone because आपको same kick नहीं मिल रहा है, so you're trying to scroll and find something that will give you the kick again. And when you get the kick, फिर वो kick खत्म हो जाती है, then you keep on going there. So the continuous cycle of finding something pleasurable to kick the dopamine in the brain. So this is how that's why it gets over. So this is the problem. First we need to understand the problem. This is the problem that we are all going through of this dopamine kick that is causing us to become addicted to our phones or our devices. Okay. Now, how can we get rid of this? I'll be giving you 4 useful tips that can help you counter this addiction. And actually, our habits program will guide you on exactly how to create this ecosystem around you. So you can refer to that course. However, I will give you a brief overview of the ecosystem that is required to be created. Okay. So one way to fight this addiction is by creating an ecosystem with habits around you. So develop some habits that will help you counter this addiction. These habits could be that you make a timeline. Okay, I am going to now continuously study for the next 90 minutes or 2 hours. Or you could keep your phone with your parents or with someone. That also could be one option. Okay, and study in chunks like 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours I'll study and then I'll take a break. If 2 hours is too long for you, you can even take it for 1 hour. Or some students also do that, like 25 minutes they'll study, 5 minutes break, 25 minutes study, 5 minutes break. However, I would not recommend that in those 5 minutes you actually go and check your phone. Okay, especially during lunch and dinner, avoid using phone, or even going on a technology fasting for 6 to 12 hours. Especially when you go to bed at night, it's not a good idea to keep checking on reels because that disturbs your sleep cycle also. Because the body, the mind, the eyes, basically, if they keep seeing light, it doesn't give the signal to the brain that it is time to sleep. Okay, so more about this you can learn in the habits course, which is there in the career growth mindset, the habits video. Now let's look at 4 useful tips that can help you counter the smartphone addiction. First tip is awareness. To become aware about this addiction and addiction pattern, recognizing that thing. So this is what I want you to do. Every time you pick up your phone, just register this thought inside your head. Becoming aware is the first stage to find out a solution. So next time, whenever you find yourself checking your smartphone, just make a mental note of I'm using my phone. This will help you to know your frequency of checking the phone. Then the second tip is to observe. So once you become aware of your activities, observe yourself as a third person. Observe what you're doing, what apps you're spending more time on. Is it for productive purposes or not? How do you feel while using your phone? So observe all these things. So observe करने के लिए you could even think of writing down at the end of the day or after some time what were your observations? What were you actually doing during that time that once you started taking your phone? What are the things that you were looking for? How much time did you spend? What all did you watch? So observing all these things is also important. That will also increase your awareness. Third tip is associate. The third tip is to associate frustration or dislike with the excessive user of the phone. So every time you find yourself spending time on unnecessary apps, start associating dislike with it. Okay, so tell your mind again and again, that's like we have affirmations to program the mind positively. Tell your mind that you think that this is disgusting, this is something you don't like. So try to program your mind to think in that way. Once you start doing this, your brain will automatically programs wasting time on the phone with a strong dislike that will discourage you from engaging in that activity. So awareness, observation and association are more like the foundation or the proper mindset required to fight this addiction. And to keep yourself in check, I have a 4th tip for you. The 4th tip is reward and punishment. The process of fighting this addiction requires time. So to keep ourselves in check, we can develop the system of rewards and punishments. So decide a reward to give yourself every time you achieve a milestone in this journey. So every time that you are not checking phone for 2 hours, something like that, or you're not going to another site that is distracting you from your work on your laptop maybe or a tablet. So at that point of time, reward yourself. And even if you're doing it, decide a punishment for you. It could be very simple, but something that will be pinching. That's very, very important. Okay, like if I used to do, I had an accountability partner I had planned, and I used to transfer him 1,000 rupees every time, I'll be kind of, doing this, getting into this trap of checking the smartphone, and then gradually, we'll come out of it. So think about something that pinches you. Okay, maybe, walking an extra kilometer, or, anything, sacrificing your sweets, anything like that. That can, help you, or rewarding yourself also, in terms of having an extra sweet, or maybe having 30 minutes of watching your favorite serial also, that could be there. Okay, so these are, these tips will actually help you to understand, crib your own addiction, right? So if you found this video valuable, if you feel that it can be helpful for you, please comment your learnings in the chat box as well. And also, if you feel that there is someone who's struggling with device de-addiction and it could help, it could be a parent, it could be a student, it could be a friend. So I would suggest that you like this video so that more people will be able to, with this video will be able to reach to more people. Also share this video with those you feel will be benefited. And if you find the videos on this channel to be adding a lot of value in your life, then please go and press the subscribe button. Else, it's okay. You can go and scroll other videos, you can learn about them, and then press the subscribe button. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. Wish you all the best.